So we're currently doing a short trade right now. Let me go ahead and break it down for you guys. So first, I'm about to put our time window was of 11:45 to 12:45 or 12:15. I mean. All right. So as you see, let me move to the 15-minute chart. That's where we base this off of. 15-minute right here. We had a 15-minute bearish FVG made, and we started rejecting that. Go ahead and go back to the 2-minute. So 2-minute, we didn't really see anything major, so we moved down to the 1-minute. And here at the 1-minute, we had a market structure break right here. We had a bearish FVG made here, as well as a smaller one right here. Let me go ahead and mark this out for you guys. Right. So now we pulled back. Let's go ahead and move back to the 2-minute chart. Explain to you guys what's going on. So we pulled into this 2-minute FVG here. Let's go ahead and remove this. We pulled into this 2-minute FVG. We kind of filled it. We hit that 1-minute FVG, bullet or bearish. Came back, swept these lows, came back up. We hit this 1-minute bearish FVG, and now we're coming back down. And the reason 2030 is my target is simply I did the fib from bottom to high. Go ahead and move this from bottom to high. So you see 50% is around here, and it kind of goes and it kind of aligns with this, I believe, a breaker, and on top of that we also have this 2-minute bullish FVG. Alright, so I just put my target right at the beginning of the FVG. That's right below the breaker. It is a little above the 50%. I believe it can go a little deeper, but for this trade, you know, it's not too much of a concern. So I think I did enter a little late on this trade. That's why my average is right here. I averaged in another trade right here, my second position. So we're coming down. You see, we break market structure. We make another bearish FVG here, and on top of that, there's another one right down here. So we're just gonna see how these play out. So I believe I might just go in, hit these fair value gaps, come back in, fill this one right here, fill my order, and then from there it could probably go back up. And we're just gonna wait and see how it plays out for now. And then we had took a long earlier as well. I took a long here. Was it here? Yeah, we took a long here. Stop was below this, and we were targeting the 62s, which was filling the a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Let me go ahead and see if I can find that. So yeah, I had took first partials out here at the 47s. Then I took final position off at the end of the fair value gap was, I believe, 63, but I just took them off at 62 just in case we decided to reverse there. And it looks like we did have this other fair value gap that we wanted to get to before that. That's completely fine. You know, we missed out on about what, like 8 points. That's nothing major. So as you see, we rejected off this 1-minute or this 2-minute bearish. Just waiting on it for it to come down here. And I am using my demo account for this. It is, I don't really trade the this time window from 11:45 to 12:15. I usually do 9:45 to 10:15, which did offer a great trade. Unfortunately, I missed it. I fell asleep. I stayed up all night doing some scalps. I'm gonna try to upload those soon, make a reel out of it or something. Show you guys what the scalps were in London session. So this was one scalp I had in London session. Up to these highs, a 55 point profit, 9 point, what's it called? 9 point risk. So this would have been the great, a good ass for the first macro window. Let's go ahead and see how this is doing. As you see, we're about to basically hit our target. Just wait it out. Let's watch it here. I got my book map on my other window, on my other screen. I'm trying to figure out how to put both screens on, but every time I try to screen record, it only puts one of my screens on it. And then from here, I'm gonna just move my stop down below this. I don't want it going back up. I believe we wanted to hit this. We could possibly come back, hit this fair value gap, and maybe breach lower. But this is the 50% equilibrium from this low to this high. So I'm not gonna, not gonna try to get greedy. I'm gonna take what I could get, let it be. Or just actually move this a little above here. Sorry for the noise. I think they're lawn mowing outside or something. I'm about to close the window for y'all. Alright, let's go ahead and just leave this one back up here. I believe we do want to hit this and then come back down. Let's go ahead and remove this one now. We're tapping into this one. So the start of the fair value gap is at 49.50. So far we are at 49.25, the highest we tapped into. I wanted to at least tap into 49.75, and from there push us downwards, get us out of this position, and from there we could possibly move back up to, I believe I was watching the 88s. Yeah, we're watching this right here. The 86s, I'd probably put my target like right below at the 84, 85s if I were to long. I'm not looking for any longs right now. So you see, we went high was 49.25, high is 49.50. We still have not tapped into it, but we're still respecting the lower one. As you see, even though we breached above it, we're closing inside of that range, which is still good to see, especially being bearish as of right now. And I know it is kind of a counter trend trade, so that's why I'm not reaching for a home run. I'm just getting that less than the 50%, and I'm out. Quick scalp trade. So here we just tapped into that 2-minute bearish. Let's go ahead and move down to the 1 minute, see what's going on a little more in depth. As you see, there was also a 1 minute bearish here. Go ahead and tap into this. 2 minute and 1 minute aligns with this bearish FVG, which is good to see. Also, this inverse 1 minute FVG adds on those extra orders there. That kind of gives us that boost down lower. Alright, so this is the move we want to get. We tapped into this, and now ideally we're just going to we're going to sweep these lows, hit this bullish FVG, I get hits my take profit, and from there it could possibly move back up. That's kind of my thesis on this. And you know, a lot of people look at the money amount. To me, it's not really the money amount, it's about how many points you're making per trade. Like, let's say this trade was entered at the 51.25, targets at the 30s, that's a 20-point trade. That 20-point trade could be $40, or it could be $400. It could be $40 if you're trading the micro Nasdaq. It could be $400 if you're trading one mini Nasdaq. So I don't think people should get too fixated on the dollar amount, more to say, but the amount of points people are securing, people are profiting on their trades. Because if you're securing 20 points, you know, you can either make, like I said, $40 or $400. The main difference is just having to up your position size, whether it be multiple micro Nasdaqs or multiple mini Nasdaqs. You know, so like, let's say if I sized up on this with 10 contracts, instead of this being an $855 trade, it'd be about, I think, a $4,000 trade, simply by sizing up, risking a little more, and what's it called, getting rewarded a little more. So, you know, don't, especially like on videos on Instagram, don't get too fixated on people like they're like, oh, I made $5,000 today. Like, in reality, if you look at it, a lot of them, yeah, they made $5,000, but their trade was worth about 8 points on NQ, which is nothing. You know, we move 8 points about in a candle. So, you know, really look at that of who you're listening to online. You know, they're scalping like 8 points, and they're saying that's like a big trade. You know, that's cool. Like, yeah, I'm doing a scalp too, but this is a 20-point scalp. It's whatever. But usually we take bigger trades like this one right here, or in the AM session. Let me move back to the 2-minute for you guys. So I'm kind of just waiting on the trade to hit take profit, and then I want to show you guys the AM session trade. I don't want you guys to miss just seeing it hit the profit. You know, just seeing the candles move towards our expected target, basically. You know. Another thing is too with this is we're rejecting internal range liquidity, so I'm anticipating internal range liquidity to get tapped into, if that makes sense. You know, or external right here that leads into an internal for our long positions. So here we hit. Now I'm just confusing myself, honestly. I'm not gonna try to explain this right now. It's too early for me. Stayed up all night scalping the London session, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, scalping throughout the London session, I was able to make 17,000. Like I said, this is paper trade. Tells you right here. I'm not gonna try to tell you guys, yeah, I was trading my real account, my funded account, my personal account. Nah, I don't scalp that much, so I was using paper trading to kind of focus on it, work on my scalping skills, kind of see what's good with all that, you know. And from here, since we did tap into this, I'm gonna move my stops to break even. You know, it's basically a risk-free trade. If it hits if it hits break even, then whatever, it is what it is. But you know, it's getting that push down we were looking for in general.
Order filled.
There you go, just like that. Doesn't really get any simpler than that, honestly. And like I said, I'm anticipating for this to probably breach the 50% and probably bounce back up. If we go down to the lower time frame, I believe there's a, yeah, see, there's a 1-minute order block here, 1-minute FVG here as well. So I'm anticipating it for us to not go anywhere below this level if we still want to hit that 20 or that 286 level, 20,086 level, you know, because that is that aligns with our pre-market high. So as you see, you know, we are starting to move up a little bit, exactly what I was looking for. You know, some people could look for a long trade here. I'm not too interested in that, considering we are in the lunch hours. So let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what the move was for this first macro window. And I know a lot of people, they're using 950 to 1010, 20-minute window. That's nothing, you know. We like to do 945 to a 915. That's a 30-minute window. Trust me, try that and it will open your eyes. So firstly, we had, what did we have? We had this sweep here. Let me move to the 15-minute chart for you guys. Here we go. Alright, we had this sweep here. Go back to the 2-minute for y'all. So that low, you know, we swept it. We created a bearish FVG, but it is in our window, so we are expecting a reversal. A lot of people would look to long or short in here, and as you see, you know, they probably would have, if they shorted in here, they probably would have got like about a cool 15 points, about 15, 20 points. But when we're trading in our windows like this, especially the first macro window, it's a very high probability that it's going to make a big move off of it. Alright, so what I had seen was, well, I had slept through it, as I said, but in hindsight, I guess you could say, you know, but in reality, what I would have traded is, let me go ahead and mark this out for y'all. So we do have this bearish FVG, right? We tapped into it. Bearish. But then as you see, as we tapped into it, we move lower, we don't break no lows, we come back into it, we go up, we inverse that FVG. So I'm gonna go ahead and just remove that. So we inverse this bearish FVG and we then make a bullish FVG. And even though we didn't get a what's it called? Even though we didn't get a displacement, how I see it is we had three confluences. We had a sweep of higher time frame lows. We inversed an FVG, and we created another FVG in our direction. That's three confluences. Or, you know, you could have the inverse, or the liquidity sweep. Then we have the displacement higher and creates an FVG. That's also three confluences. So, you know, like, you kind of see what I'm saying. Or that's why also people say unicorn setup is higher probability. Like, for example, like here you get the let me delete this for y'all. Kind of gives you a good example. So you make this high, you know. So what do we have? So we had that previous bearish FVG, right? We swept that. You know, we make a short-term high, come down. We sweep this again, so that's two sweeps. That's double two confluences in my books. Boom, we displace. That's a third confluence, and we make an FVG. That's my fourth confluence. That's why I feel like when people say unicorn setup is higher probability, that's the reason why. You just basically have more confluences to your trade. So going back to this, we inversed this. We also made another tiny FVG here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it out just for y'all. And I know this is, you know, y'all say what you want. You can say it's hindsight trading, but in reality, this is how I trade the markets. This is how I look to enter. Does it meet my requirements? And is it in my window for higher probability? Yeah, then perfect. You know, I'm taking this trade any day. So you could have entered either on this first FVG here at the 19,958s, or the second one here at the 19,950s. 8-point difference, not really anything major. You could have put I would have put my stop somewhere around, so if it was at the 50s, I would have risked about 20 points, 25 points. So you could have either had your stop here at the 30s, you could have had your stop here at the 30s if you entered here. But if you entered here, I would have probably had my stop 25 points max. I don't want to risk any more than that. It'd be at the 33s, and as you see, we never reached below that. So from here, my target would have been that initial fair value gap I was telling you guys about. You know, this would have just been catching the bottom of this trade. I had to take this other one here, which was kind of continuation up to that trade, which is whatever, you know, but catching the bottom is always going to be the best move, especially if you know where to look, right? So not this one. Where's it at? So usually for my targets, I do use higher time frame PD arrays. So in reality, if I entered it down here, firstly I would have targeted this high, which I'm gonna go ahead and mark right here. Oh fuck. This high right here. Because then on top of that, you know, what aligns right above it is a 15-minute bullish or bearish fair value gap. So you know that's perfect, that's a perfect that's a good exit point for me, you know, because it could sweep these highs into a bearish fair value gap, and it could have rejected straight here, but you know we did move up to that second fair value gap. So first target would have been here at the high of day, or the last swing high on the 15-minute. $87s. Most likely would have took some out here too. Now that I'm looking at it, we'll move this. I'm gonna go to the smaller time frames just to see how these look. See, this would have caused you a little pullback, and from there we just had a deeper sweep into this. You could have had first target here at the 88s, second target here at the 45s, and final target at the 71s, which in total would have been, first target would have been a 30-point, about a 30-point trade, basically a 1-to-1. Second target would have been 86 points. Final target would have been 111. And that's from the macro window of 9:45 to 10:15. Like I said, I didn't trade it. I didn't take it. It is what it is. I missed it. I'm not going to go cry about it. I'll just wait for the next setup. Probably wait for the PM session. So as you see, look, we did break lower on this. We did break that 50% level that was standing right about here, I believe. Yeah, about here. And we are tapping in. We are in a discount now, so I guess we're in a discount from this level to this level. If we still want to see the 86s hit, I'd basically want this to support, which it is supporting at the moment. But you do got to realize we do have a bearish FVG going on here. And where was that one level? That was on the 1 minute that I said I don't really want it to go below this one. And we did go below it, and we tapped into an FVG, and as you see, we are kind of still seeing what's going to go on here. I'm done trading until 13:30. I'll probably look to take another trade if it presents itself. Take a quick scalp. I'll probably try to record that too. Other than that, I just wanted to show you guys the quick little live execution that was going on. You know, you guys have any questions? Drop them in the comments. Let me know. I'm happy to help. You know, we'll see what we could get in the next session, I guess you could say. And yeah, and then I'll also kind of recap, go back and see how this played out here. You know, it does look like it's going lower. I could have held that position a little longer. It is what it is, you know, still secured profits. I'm up. That one was an $800 trade, so it's pretty cool. I mean, it is a paper trade. For me, it's just knowing I'm seeing these setups happen within the windows, and they're working out, you know. So at the same time, I am also learning what situations I can hold a position longer, and what situations I would want to cut the position early. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and y'all have a good one.